Good day, everybody. Meteorologist Mark Muller here. What just happened with the GFS? It's completely lost what was supposed to become Tropical Storm Alex. Is the GFS up to its old tricks again? The bait and switch? Are we doomed to not have Alex here? Or is it going to kind of push along like the Euro had originally predicted? Look at this. Sunday into Monday, it indicates something that the Euro has been saying all along. Let's get into it and explain this. All right, so here we go. We're taking a look at what I think is going to happen. This is much different than it was a couple days ago when I was showing you based on, the new model runs and the GFS basically losing everything here. 5% chance, and it is a big, large area, and part of it is over land. It's basically, the extreme Western Caribbean here, maybe just east of Belize here, and then hitting onto the Eastern Pacific here. So this could potentially become an Eastern Pacific storm if it were to develop into a tropical storm. Alex would be its name. But if it develops in the Eastern Pacific, it's not going to be Alex. It will only be Alex if it forms here in the Western Caribbean. If it does cross over into the Eastern Pacific, then all bets are off. It'll become a newer named storm of the Eastern Pacific. So there you have it. I'm not looking at anything. It's just not there for the Gulf of Mexico. All right, so looking back at the GFS here, take a look. Yeah, it's a big old blob of showers and thunderstorms down here. But you know what? We should have seen this coming with the GFS. It is here. And I'm going to show you the Euro momentarily here. You have a little bit of a disturbance here. It's just, that's just the initial disturbance. Then we start to get, some development here. Monday. Here it is, May 23rd. It's very subtle, though. And, it tries to close off a low. We're kind of at the end of the line here on this run. But, yeah, you're pretty much left with that. And I don't know. That's why I've dropped the chances significantly. And if we cruise on, let's just cruise on over to the Euro here. So, yeah, get the latest Euro run going. So, essentially what we're looking at here is there's the first wave that moves through. And we approach the weekend here. There it is. It's very subtle disturbance. It's crossing over into Central America. This is Monday, May 23rd. This is why I think this has a better chance of potentially becoming, look at, a Eastern Pacific storm, if this were to intensify into something, if it makes it over the mountains of Central America here. So, yeah, that's essentially what we're looking at here. And you know what? This is interesting because this is far out, but this is May 28th, Memorial Day weekend. Look at, you probably have some sort of storm over here, and look at, there's another one showing up here on the Euro. Now, the Euro's not the best long-range model, but that is interesting. We're having like a little bit of activity here into the Southern Caribbean. All right, so let's see what's driving this force here. Why things are happening and playing out the way they are. The original GFS runs earlier in the week. We have this big old high. It's building a bit further west. It's pushing everything further west here. And the Euro was subsequently correct. So there's not much to argue about there. And as we continue, look at that Bermuda high continues to build. This is more reminiscent of August. An August Bermuda high, drawing all this tropical moisture northward. There's going to be a lot of tropical moisture here developing later this weekend, Sunday and Monday. And look at this. You got this big old trough moving in. So, if anything were to develop, it would get caught up in this trough pretty easily. But I don't see anything developing here into the Gulf of Mexico. So, yeah, let's get rid of that. So, yeah, you got a bunch of high pressure out here into what's going on here. There we go. So you got a bunch of high pressure out here in the Atlantic, and essentially that is going to keep systems cruising to the west here. Now you got the intertropical convergence zone. Let's continue here along the timeline. So we head on through next week. Take a look at that. Thank you, Tropical Tidbits, for this massive, nice Atlantic view. So yeah, you got this tropical moisture moving around this high. This high is continuing to build westward here. This is a big old high here. And, there's some sort of low out here too. So we have to watch, spin up lows out here into the central Atlantic as well. Sea surface temperatures are running pretty good above normal. So I'll show you those momentarily here. But you got a big old high, across the northeast part of the country finally. So you get some drier weather. But yeah, we're getting a lot of tropical moisture just feeding up here into parts of the southeast coast. Texas, some beneficial rains are happening. So as we continue to cruise on through the loop here, look at that. Yeah, we have something potentially out here. It's definitely not going to affect any land. The Azores are right here, so it'll be interesting to see if this thing becomes maybe subtropical. So there's something showing up here, but you know what? I really don't trust the GFS this far out. So we'll watch it here, but, you know, the intertropical convergence zone pretty far south, as it always is this time of year. All right, so I wanted to show you the sea surface temperature anomalies. We have a little bit of a cool spot here. That's with that disturbance that brought up some cooler than average waters here south of Jamaica and Hispaniola. But take a look here. We're continuing to warm it up here in the Gulf of Mexico. Just not going to see, you know, any kind of formation, it doesn't look like, from Alex at this point heading northward here. But, you know, it is what it is. The GFS, it's been fickle as of late. So you got some upwelling here off the east coast as well, and then you got some cooler than average temperatures out here in the central Atlantic, but we don't really look for much development this time of year. But look at how things are starting to really warm back up here, even off the southeast coast. All right, so take a look at this beautiful satellite picture here. Look at this. Yeah, this is pretty impressive here for this time of year in the southern Caribbean. You got a big old blob of thunderstorms. So we'll continue to watch stuff like this. You know, I don't expect this to develop because this is the first wave that'll be moving through. It will be moving into the Central America here and causing heavy rains and flooding into those mountainous areas. But look at that. The Gulf of Mexico is clear as a bell up here, but you can see these clouds moving pretty fast. That means there's some pretty good wind shear up in here. So if anything were to develop over the next several days, you can see these thunderstorm cloud tops. They're literally just getting sheared off here. So wind shear is pretty frisky up here into the Gulf. If you take a look at the western Gulf of Mexico here, you have to watch these kind of thunderstorm complexes. This one moving off of northern Mexico here. Take a look at this. As these move out over into the Gulf of Mexico, you know, they can form something if they stall and persist. But, you know, see the flow? It's pretty quick here, as I showed you on the previous frame. These clouds are moving pretty fast in the upper levels of the atmosphere, so there's some good wind shear here. So at the current time, I don't see any chance of development. See these thunderstorms here in central Florida? Look how fast the cloud tops are being spun off here because of those upper level winds. All right, so another product I like to take a look here is the water vapor loop. Look at all this moisture pluming into the Pacific Northwest. You got all this cloudiness and showers and thunder showers heading into parts of the Ohio Valley and the Northeast. But look at this. You got a big old batch of dry air moving in across the Southwest into western Texas here, and that'll eventually pivot its way eastward. So, yeah, you got some thunderstorms on the southern end of this with that system. And here's the beautiful visible satellite photo. There's that cloud deck I wanted to show you across the Ohio Valley into parts of the Northeast. And then you got here into the Pacific Northwest. Look at all that cloudiness. But look at that. Most of the Southeast here looking pretty dry. All right, so taking a look, we have an enhanced risk here for your Thursday. And slight risk here as well into parts of the Southeast, upper Ohio Valley. So yeah, you're going to want to watch this around southeastern Minnesota, north central Iowa, into western Wisconsin. What are the threats we're going to see here? Well, we got a tornado threat here into parts of this area, 5% chance as well into parts of Kentucky over to Missouri, southern Illinois. So what is this bringing for hail and wind? So let's take a look here. Hail, yeah, you're going to be in this red hatch region. That is a big risk of hail and wind damage. You betcha, here into the yellow zones as well. But we head into, things get a little interesting here on Friday. We have this big old linear front moving through, and we got a risk of damaging wind, large hail here. Let's see, you know, we don't have the tornado threat probably on this just yet. But day 4, is there any threat? If there is going to be a threat, it may just be in this region, especially later in the day. So we're going to start off with the NAM 3 kilometer here. Let's make sure we have it. Look at this. This is what we're going to be looking at here into the Northeast. So yeah, let's make sure we have the right slide here. We got rain moving in overnight, Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So we're going to have some rain showers moving in. Thankfully, none of this is severe. And yeah, as we continue to move along here, let's make sure that slider bar doesn't get away from us. So yeah, we've got showers and thunderstorms developing, mainly thunderstorms south of the Pennsylvania border here and showers further north. So we're going to have a showery start to your Thursday here across the Northeast. And as we continue to move through your Thursday, you know, we head towards sunrise here. Take a look at this. We got some heavier showers developing here into southeastern Pennsylvania, parts of central New Jersey, and that continues to pivot east throughout the day. So take a look at that. You got Thursday. Yeah, this is right just around noontime. You got some thunderstorms firing up here. I don't believe any of these will be severe. as I showed you in the previous frames for severe weather outlook. There'll be some of these will be a little strong. Look at that. We're getting some cells just east of Binghamton there, and some right down here east of Harrisburg towards the Allentown region, as well as, you know, the sun tries to come out. So yeah, some of these cells, here we go, the Eastern Catskills, Hudson Valley, it could get a little frisky here as we get towards dinner time and evening here. So, and that pulls away, and that leaves us open here for a much hotter Friday. But look at this. We have some thunderstorm complexes developing here for parts of early to middle part of Friday here. So some of these might make it into the area, but it looks like as they're weakening, because the atmosphere will start to become capped by this point. So here we go. What are we looking at for total precipitation? So as we put this into motion, this, keep in mind, this is the NAM 3 kilometer. So a lot of that, as I showed you in the previous frames, there, southeastern Pennsylvania, yeah, we could eke out above an inch here into parts of the area. And then further north, it's going to be generally a quarter to a third of an inch, with some pockets up to a half an inch here, especially east of Binghamton up towards Albany, Syracuse area. But down in here, Harrisburg, Allentown, New York City, Long Island, yeah, some of these pockets could reach, you know, an excess of 1.25 inches. Not out of the question at this point as we cruise through the rest of the, towards the weekend. It kind of, you know, you don't see much added here. And here we go. I wanted to show you really briefly here on the high resolution Euro. Take a look at this. So precipitation amounts, give you a rough sketch across the country into later in the weekend. Take a look at this. Yeah, we're going to be seeing some heavy, big old time heavy rains here from the South Texas area all the way up into parts of Chicago, Michigan, and then a generalized, as I showed you here, you know, quarter inch or higher. That is interesting that the Euro is not painting, you know, southeastern Pennsylvania here into the heavier rains. Let's actually go into the Northeast here, and we'll take a look and see what's going on here with that. Take a look. So we head into the Northeast with the high resolution Euro. Yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, it's a bit lower here than the NAM 3 kilometer. So that's interesting. We'll have to see, you know, probably split the difference at this point, but it is definitely going to be heavier. You know, it's starting to pick up returns here off of Long Island here in the excess of an inch range here. So I wanted to show you the heat that's going to be building. We'll skip through, here we go, Willows in the 50s, most areas of Pennsylvania, New York. But look at this. This is the heat building here Thursday. But look, so there's the lows on Friday. But take a look at this. Watch this heat take over for Friday. So you really start to build this heat here. It's kind of like a battle zone, though. Look at the marine layers pushing in from the east here. And then you got this continental boiling air to the west. Look at this. Well into the mid to high 80s here. Look at that. Pittsburgh, 88. We're going to be pushing that to the east. And I would not be surprised if 80s start breaking through the I-81 corridor here on Friday as well. But watch this. Actually, we can't go into Saturday, so we'll use the high resolution Euro here. Let's take a look. So we head on into Saturday here. Look at this. Let's back that frame up. The hottest point of the day. Look what is going on here. We're cracking 90 here around Binghamton, Elmira, Ithaca, 91 there in Syracuse, 93 in Albany, 92 on the outskirts of, Boston here, Concord, 92. Look at this, 90s into western part of New Jersey here, 92 in Harrisburg. This is some pretty hot air in here. So, yeah, you're going to have a scorcher, firecracker, Saturday. All right, and Robert Stone here once again this past Sunday from Stony Brook State Park, Dansville, New York, Western New York. Take a look at these beautiful steps going down this winding path. Really nice place to visit. I remember, I got to get back to this place. I remember this place when I was a kid and a teenager. Just really, really picturesque. And this time of year, it's really nice because you got a lot of water flowing through these waterfalls. So things are really nice. You know, it's running through the gorges here. And as I said, they said they're trying to get the other trail open as well. Take a look at this. There's a lot of water flowing down these waterfalls this time of year, making it really, really, really nice. Nice captures here, Robert. And look at this. This is just nice. You finally got some leaves coming on the trees here as well. And take a look at that. Really nice. Things are really greening up nice here in Stony Brook State Park, Western New York. Here we go. John from Woking, Surrey, UK here. Take a look at this beautiful May 15th. 2022 here. Look at the nice blue skies just cruising along here on the road. Nice capture there, John. All right, so let's take a look at the height anomalies. This gives us a good idea of the pattern. We're looking at the medium range CFS here. So let's take a look. Let's propagate along here. So yeah, we're going to head throughout the rest of the week. Look at this big old trough coming across the western part of North America here into the east. So you got this ridge here along the east coast. So what's going to happen with that? So let's take a look. Let's move this into motion. And we head into next week. That ridge continues to build here across the east until we have this system here across the Great Lakes. You got a ridge building across the Intermountain West over here. This is Friday. This is going into your Memorial Day weekend. So this is looking a bit better, especially Memorial Day, later Memorial Day weekend. We're going to build a ridge here, so you're definitely going to see some warmer weather, but it's not going to be so great here across the Rocky Mountain area. So you got this trough in the northern plains, and that spins around. And then look at this. The bottom kind of falls out here across much of North America until we have a positive signal here coming up along the east coast that's signifying that we're going to continue to see the stubborn ridge try to build here. That's that big old Bermuda high, you know, kind of inverted here across the U.S. East Coast. So that is going to be interesting to watch as we head throughout the month of June here. And that could play into some tropical development here as well. You see, you know, we get some troughs here across the Northeast, but for the most part, look at this. We continue to build a big old ridge here. So this is going to keep temperatures above average, and this may keep the tropical moisture heading around just like this out of the Gulf of Mexico. Extended outlook from hometown viewers from Binghamton to Scranton's Upper Susquehanna region. Take a look. Thursday for Monday here. Look at this. Yeah, we've got some interesting weather here. Thursday, yeah, we got some morning showers and thunderstorms, maybe some afternoon thunderstorms as well, as conditions become mostly sunny throughout the day. So it'll start out cloudy and overcast and become sunnier, up to a quarter-inch, possible 70s. Look at that. But look at this. The heat is on Friday into Saturday, double eights, both Friday and Sunday. But look at that. 96 firecracker degrees on Saturday. We might have some strong to severe thunderstorms, particularly after 6 or 7 p.m. in the evening. There will be a cold front from the west. Sunday, there is a better chance of showers and thunderstorms. Some could potentially be severe. We head into Monday, double sixes on the backside of that front. Much windier, northwest winds 15 to 25 miles per hour. A return to reality. As always, thank you for joining me for this edition of Weather Eastern and Hurricane Eastern. Guess what? There's social media pages I have, Media Mark on Facebook. Also, Weather Northeastern. Also, Hurricane Northeastern, if you want to follow my hurricane page. MediaMark.com, WeatherNortheastern.com, and Twitter at Weather Eastern. Don't forget, there is my Hurricane 2022 Outlook down below in the description. And at the end of this video, there's a link on the video itself. So if you haven't watched that, take a look at that. Thanks for joining me.